to stock their produce aisle. So will the stores absorb the hit?
Fresh produce isn't the first thing that comes to mind when we think of Thanksgiving. But don't worry, if you're looking for a green for your Thanksgiving dinner, there are other options.
Just about any other.
The grocery store looks clean. The shelves look fresh. But behind that display, pallets of cucumbers have been sitting at room temperature all night. Workers wiped mold off peppers and put them back on the shelf. A toddler even licked tomatoes in a Walmart display, and the official response was, "We are looking into it." If that's happening in plain sight, what's happening in the back room? Today we expose 6 major chains where the illusion of freshness hides dangerous shortcuts you need to know about before your next shopping trip. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Why does produce that looks flawless on the outside so often fail the moment you cut into it? You slice open the pepper, the cucumber, the tomato, and what should be crisp and clean is already soft, watery, even breaking down. On the surface it's perfect. Inside, it's already a casualty. The supply line is supposed to protect against this. Refrigerated trucks, climate-controlled storage, steady cold air all the way from farm to shelf. The system is meant to function like a convoy escort, constant coverage, constant vigilance, no gap for spoilage to slip through.
However, having a salad with your Thanksgiving dinner is still a holiday staple in many households. But
skyrocketed nearly 40% in July compared to a year ago. And that's, of course, what grocery stores pay.
Deportations, so they're having a hard time getting some of these crops.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that at least 32 people in 11 different states have been sickened by a dangerous type of E. coli.
That's the promise. Vegetables move under protection so that when you reach for lettuce or spinach, what you see is what you'll actually get. But then, you hear the eyewitness accounts. Crates of cucumbers left on a pallet overnight, no cooling, no monitoring. A shortcut taken to save effort in the back room. That single window of warm exposure rewinds the shelf life. By the time those items reach your cart, their clock has already run out. Early failure hidden behind a photogenic exterior. And it doesn't stop there. Lettuce that wilts gets sprayed down, not thrown out. The outer layer is trimmed, blemishes cut away, and the head is tucked back onto the display, reborn as something it's not. Rot is disguised as recovery. What you're sold as performance, not freshness. A momentary cosmetics job that buys one more day of sales but steals days of real quality from you. At that point you're not buying food, you're buying a role in a staged show. Safeway leans on something I call rotation theater. Picture the Roma tomatoes.
Big move, 3 things happening here: weather and drought. So you've got supply issues, worker shortages, and you've got farmers saying that there are fear on some of these farms. Prices rise for domestic as well. So this is producer level. Will it be passed on to the consumer? Sure. Unclear yet, but we'll know pretty quickly.
That have romaine in it, and then romaine hearts.
Here at Olmsted's Market, you'll see signs like this regarding the romaine lettuce.
To pull all of our romaine for safety's sake. So the government's issued a recall, so we did it immediately.
New shipment hits the cart. Instead of clearing the weak ones out, workers bury strong fruit beneath yesterday's fatigued inventory. The wilted batch goes right on top. You, the unsuspecting customer, walk in and grab from the front. You think you're choosing a prime tomato. You're actually carrying away one already in retreat. The whole system is built to move old stock before honest stock, and you're the one paying with both dollars and disappointment. At Kroger, the approach shifts to what staff half-jokingly call the miracle spray. It gives vegetables a shine, a false hydration, a vibrant glow under the lights. But make no mistake, it's not sanitation, not safety, not even true preservation. It's the equivalent of repainting a dented steel plate. To the casual eye, it looks clean and strong. Under pressure, in your kitchen, it collapses without warning.
And then tariffs on imported vegetables and food. That's something that can make
that is linked to romaine lettuce. The bacteria can't be washed away. Researchers found it embedded in the romaine lettuce leaves.
It's not just the romaine, it's also the salad mix. Just about any other mixed greens. There's so many different kinds of salad mixes now, so they just have to pick something that they would like.
Then there are the misting systems standing above most produce aisles. They kick in with a light fog, water droplets covering every leaf and stem. To you, it looks like hydration. It looks like paradise, fresh crops kissed with mountain rain. But the tubing is rarely cleaned, biofilm lines the inside, bacteria latch on and wait. The spray that looks like protection also spreads contamination. It's a silent problem, camouflaged by the very machinery meant to reassure you. Think of it like a battlefield fix. A tank with rust in its armor gets covered with paint. From a distance, the vehicle looks battle-ready, shining in the sun, a monument of steel. But that layer of paint cannot stop corrosion when the projectile lands. In the same way, sprays, mists, and clever rotations cannot rebuild freshness once it's already gone. They only buy the illusion. And illusions break down fast under real use, under your knife, on your counter, in your fridge. This is the story of theater on the grocery floor. The stage is lit, the props are polished, the actors are dressed to look alive. But the warfighting truth is simple: when you walk into these stores, you're often walking onto a battlefield where deception advances ahead of honesty. These tricks are not mistakes, they are maneuvers. The goal isn't your long-term satisfaction. The goal is just to clear inventory. And if you move without tactical awareness, you step straight into the trap. Now you see the first layer. Freshness as illusion. Displays edited to manipulate your eye, not to protect your health. But this is just the opening clash. In the next phase, we'll move beyond the stagecraft of misting nozzles and trimmed greens. We'll push forward to the deeper flaws, recalls hidden in plain sight, labeling that masks origin, and unseen points of contamination that breach lines you thought were secure. Freshness on the shelf is not always real. What you see is often a simulation, a front built on shortcuts you cannot detect. Room temperature gaps, cosmetic misting, rotation games, each one chips away at safety long before you take a bite. That's why you need to move like a scout. Check the stems for drying, smell for hints of spoilage, study condensation inside packaging, and leave behind pre-cut trays exposed to open air. Small steps, real gains. Trust in these battles is not granted, it's earned. Subscribe and join a community determined to see past illusions and demand higher standards.